Hello, people. So, today we'll be talking about a new topic that is oils and fats in foods. So, I took this topic because uh, I find it important with respect to your competitive exams. So, yeah. So, let's start with the topic oils and fats in foods. So, oils and fats have been used by man in food preparations for many centuries now. In the past, butter or ghee was used because it added richness of flavor and color to the food preparation. This we all know. And today, in addition to butter, many oils and fats of animal and vegetable origin and many products developed from them are consumed by man. He also consumes fats in invisible forms. Many foods contain large amounts of fats that are not apparent in their appearance. So, we have some of the examples. फर्स्ट वन इज़ योर एवोकाडोज. तो देखने से तो कभी नहीं लगेगा कि उसमें 16% ऑफ फैट प्रेजेंट है. देन इज एग योल्क विच हैज़ 31%, चॉकलेट 35%, beef 41%, almonds 58%, cheese 32%, and the last one is your Brazil nut, which has 67% of fat. So these are some of the examples which are also important in with respect to your any competitive exam. Direct question can be asked from these. The next we will be talking about is nutritional importance of oils and fats. So yes, oils and fats are important sources of our energy requirements, right? And weight, they furnish about 2.25 times more energy than proteins and carbohydrates, and this can be asked. It furnishes 2.25 times more energy than proteins and carbohydrates. As you all know that fats give us how much calorie? 9 kilo calorie per gram. So does they keep does they help reduce the bulk of food we take? Besides being an important source of energy, oils and fats are excellent sources of fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K, and they play an important part in biosynthesis of several long chain alcohols. Oils provide an essential fatty acid, linoleic acid, which is needed for human health, and excessive intake of saturated fatty acids increases the level of serum lipids and the incidence of atherosclerosis and heart disease. This we all know. And a high level of consumption of unsaturated acids is thus necessary for normal health, right? So fats are slow in leaving the stomach and hence retard digestion, and this delays the pangs of hunger. There is, however, no difference in the digestibility of different fats that are ordinarily constituents of foods, and they are utilized to the extent of 95 to 98%. So those which melt below 43 degrees Celsius are completely digested, while those melting above 43 degrees Celsius are more slowly digested and less completely absorbed. Oil seeds are also rich in proteins, and oil seed cake obtained after extraction of oils from the seeds can be processed to produce protein rich foods, and such foods are in the market and have helped solve the protein deficiency of vulnerable sections of our population like infants, children, and pregnant mothers. So with this we have completed our topic of nutritional importance of oils and fats. Now we'll start with the next topic, that is functions of oil and fats in foods. In addition to their nutritional function, oils and fats have other uses which derive principally from their distinct physical properties. They contribute to the tenderness, flavor, color, and texture of the food products. They also serve as a chief ingredients in preparing foods that form emulsions and as cooking media. So we'll start with the first one, that is your tenderness. One of the most important functions of oils and fats is to tenderize baked products. Large quantities of them find use in preparation of baked products such as your breads, cakes, biscuits, and cookies, etc. Their function is particularly important in pastry and bread, which have little or no sugar to contribute to the tenderness. In the absence of oils and fats, the gluten strand will be held firmly together as a solid mass. Fats, being insoluble in water, interfere with the gluten development during mixing, and thus fats act as shortenings in the preparation of baked products. Fat absorbed on flour proteins interferes with the hydration and thus development of cohesive gluten structure. So what happens is, अगर तो फैट को अगर नहीं हम इन्वॉल्व करते हैं किसी प्रोडक्शन में, लाइक बेकिंग में, तो जो ग्लूटन है दैट विल फाइनली firmly be held with each other and it will form a solid mass. But when fat is included in a product formation, it is insoluble in water, so it acts as a shortenings, right? And it is absorbed on the flour proteins and interferes with the hydration नहीं होने देता है, और उसकी वजह से क्या होता है, कोहेसिव ग्लूटेन स्ट्रक्चर डेवलप हो जाता है. Next we have is that butter and margarine, a blend of vegetable oils and animal fats and hydrogenated fats or oils, are used as shortening agents. And hydrogenated oils used as shortening agents are partially hydrogenated, as complete hydrogenation would make them too hard, right? इधर पे याद करना कि जो भी hydrogenated fats हम use करते हैं baking में, they are partially hydrogenated, not fully. And superglycerinated shortenings are used for baking. Superglycerinated shortenings. So what does it means? सुपरग्लिसरिनेटेड शॉर्टनिंग्स हम तब बोलेंगे जब जो आपकी शॉर्टनिंग्स हैं वो प्रिपेयर की गई हैं, यहीं लिख देती हूँ, बाय यूजिंग 2.5% ऑफ मोनोग्लिसराइड्स प्लस डाइग्लिसराइड्स. इस फॉर्मेशन को हम बोलते हैं सुपर ग्लाइसरेटेड शॉर्टनिंग. सो दीज आर यूज्ड फॉर बेकिंग and these are added to promote the emulsification of fat and water and improve the baking properties. So now we'll talk about different shortening agents used in baking of different products. So the usual fat used, if any, in yeast bread is butter or margarine. ठीक है. In biscuits, a hard fat must be used so that the fat can be distributed in small pieces to give the desired flakiness to the biscuits. Then muffins require that the fat be fluid during mixing. Shortened cakes are made using a plastic fat which combines readily with the ingredients in the flour mixture. And chiffon cake. So chiffon cakes are formulated with the use of oil, and butter and commercial shortenings are used in preparation of cookies, right? Thus, the type of fat used as shortening in making pastry depends on the type of the product desired. Butter is usually used in puff pastries. So fats also contribute to the incorporation and retention of air in the form of air bubbles in the batter. Carbon dioxide and steam diffuse into these air cells during baking. Thus, fats contribute to the grain and volume of the baked products. कैसे? क्योंकि जो air bubbles हैं वो incorporate हो जाते हैं during जब अब कभी भी फैट के साथ किसी प्रोडक्ट्स को बीट करते हैं तो एयर बबल्स जो है इनकॉपरेट हो जाते हैं और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड डेवलप होता है ड्यूरिंग बेकिंग एंड दस एक ग्रेन एंड वॉल्यूम डेवलप हो जाते हैं. तो नेक्स्ट वी हैव इज फ्लेवर. So some fats influence the flavor of the food. Fats that are used for seasoning, stable use, and salad dressings possess distinctively pleasing flavors. Butter, margarine, pecan fat, olive oil are commonly used for salad dressings. Cottonseed oil, corn oil, groundnut oil, and soybean oil lack flavor and they are used for salad dressing when blend flavor is required. ठीक है? And all fats, flavored or bland, act as a solvent for the flavor of the foods to which they are added. For example, the flavor of onion, celery, pepper, and other flavored foods when cooked is extracted by fats. ठीक है? So the next major function that we have is your texture. Fats have a textural effects in foods. They affect the smoothness of crystalline candies and frozen desserts through retardation of crystallization and gelatinization of starch in starch thickened mixtures. And they contribute to the juiciness of meats and firm structures of whipped creams. Firm structure, jhaag wala structure. Okay. The next important function that fats provide us with is emulsions. So in most of the fats constitute one of the essential constituents in food emulsions. This we all know, right? And prominent among the natural food emulsions are your milk, cream, egg yolk. In most food emulsions, oil is dispersed or discontinuous phase and water is dispersion medium or continuous phase. And for the stabilization of an emulsion, a emulsifying agent is required. So various substances commonly used as an emulsifiers are egg yolk, white egg, gelatin, starch paste, vegetable gum, casein, and fine powders such as those of paprika and mustard. Salad dressings such as your mayonnaise, French dressings, and cooked salad dressings are permanent or semi-permanent emulsions of oil and water. Occasionally in single food such as vinegar or sour cream may be used as salad dressing. They may also be a simple mixture of oil and vinegar. So first of all, we'll start with mayonnaise. So this is a semi-solid emulsion of vegetable oil. It can be a corn oil plus your cottonseed oil, egg yolk or whole egg, vinegar, and seasoning. So vinegar reduces the tendency of the oil to become rancid. So that is why it is added. And mustard is frequently used in making mayonnaise as a flavoring material, which also stabilizes the emulsion. And other spices are added for taste. The oil content of mayonnaise is as high as 75%. Right. The next one is French dressing. French dressing is an emulsion of vinegar, vegetable oils, salts, and spices. The emulsion is not as stable as mayonnaise and contains about 35% of oil. Commercial French dressings are stabilized by adding powdered paprika, eggs, tomato sauce, and other materials. The last one that we have is your cooked salad dressings. So they are made from fat, that is your butter, margarine, or cream, or salad oil, egg, vinegar, starch, and seasonings. Fruit juice or milk may be used in place of vinegar. And the liquid ingredients are thickened with egg and added to water and starch heated to boiling point. And cooked dressings contain less than 30% of oil. So thank you for watching my video. And if you like it, please like my channel, subscribe my channel, and share it with your friends. And please keep supporting and wait for the next video. Thank you.